Hi guys, it's Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Technique Thursday to share with you a scrappy strip technique. So here's the card I have for you today, and it's really simple. I did not want to, I wasn't in the mood to color today, so, but I still wanted a pop of color, so it's kind of like a Colorblock technique, just using scraps of paper. Here featuring the new in colors, 4 of the 5 new in colors. And I am truly just blown away by the beauty of this card, and all credit given where credit is due. This card was cased off of a design from Diana Miller. I don't know who you are, but you made a beautiful card. And I loved it, and I kind of ran with it. So I am going to show you how I made it. All right, let's see here. Get it up in the corner where you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to work a little smarter this time, and I'll explain to you how I made this different than I made the sample card. I'm going to start by stamping the flower from the Flowers of Friendship stamp set. So it's a focal flower here. I didn't want to love this set because I have a lot of flowers, but gosh, I've seen it used in many different ways, and I did buy it, and I'm glad I did. It is so versatile. It's got some really great sentiments in it, and I love the font pairings in this set. So I'll probably feature a couple more things with this because I have found some really unique ways to use it. It is a punch bundle. Let's see here. How can I best show you? Wow, this is really hard to show off. It's got the 2 flowers and the 2 leaves as a part of a builder punch as well. So that is what I am using, and I'm using Memento Black. When you are using basic white as your base, it is a best practice to use the thick basic white. I have it pulled off of the corner here. You don't want to jam yourself up in the corner because it's hard to get a nice even impression. So I brought it down so that when I go ahead and stamp this, I can give it firm pressure without having to bind those hinges. So that's my first step. Then I'm going to take the Stamparatus and move it out of my way. Now, I have strips of these 4 colors. We've got soft, succulent, fresh, freesia, polished, pink, and pale papaya. And I am going to layer them. I cut in each of them a 1/8, a 2/8, which is a quarter, and a 3/8 size, just to have some variety. And I'm probably just going to do exactly the same as I did for my sample card, so the same sizes and same patterns. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch strip of pale papaya, and just butt that straight up to the edge, followed by a 1/8 strip of soft succulent. I am having glue issues here. Ooh. That would be a good idea to protect your work surface from the extra glue. Good idea in theory, not in practice. Then I took a 3/8 inch fresh freesia. Sorry, I don't want to get much glue hanging off the edge, so I want to get them as tucked tightly as possible. Okay, followed by a 1/4 inch of polished pink. I see here that my soft succulent is a little crooked. You may not be able to see that, but I'll show you in just a second. Okay, we're back with a 1/8 pale papaya. A much straighter one this time. Okay, a 3/8 soft succulent. And last but certainly not least, we have a 1/8 fresh Freesia. This is the one you're going to want to be the most careful with, because if you get it a little crooked and move it back into place, which is fine, you may have some glue remnant that gets into the white that you don't want to be there, like I just did. So then, seeing as how it's liquid glue, it'll start getting tacky and be more secure after 10 seconds or so. So just kind of press down and give your glue an opportunity to adhere. So here my scrap was a little crooked, so there's a little bit of white peeking out, but that is okay. Here, I'll take my adhesive eraser and get my sticky fingerprint off of here. Okay, so now flip it over, take your glue scissors, which is hiding on me, and I should recap your glue so that it doesn't get dried over on the end. That happened to me many times. Take your glue scissor and go ahead and trim those edges tight to your basic white mat. Okay. Okay. Now, you're going to bring your Stamparatus back in. Sorry, I'm trying to get sticky scraps off of my fingers. Okay, extra scraps for your next card. All right, then you're going to bring your Stamparatus back in. And because the Stamparatus is made for jobs like this, your stamp hasn't moved. And if you align your paper in the exact same spot, which is why we used washi tape to indicate where we stamped in the first place, you're going to be re-stamping over this impression that you did in step 1, which is going to create that impression over on this colored area that you just built up. And why we're doing that is because you've got 2 different layers of paper. The bottom layer is lower than the ones you just glued on. So, and I knew this was going to happen, and for some reason in my head I was like, oh, it'll be fine, but it's never fine. You know, when you scrap off onto a scrap paper on the side, there's always the area right next to that like lower level. I don't know if this makes any sense, but where it misses the impression. So all along this junction right here, I had a big area where the impression didn't sit. So I took a Stampin' Write basic black marker and drew it in. You know, it's not a very detailed, difficult design to draw in. So if you don't have a Stamparatus, you could do that. It's not impossible. It's not that noticeable. I don't know if So you can definitely tell here, and then that stem, and this whole line here, and you know, all of that was drawn in. So you definitely can tell. You probably can tell more in person than you can on the video, but by no means is it bad. It's definitely acceptable. But the proper way to do it would be to use your Stamparatus. See? Lessons learned. Okay, so you ink up your image again, and you make sure that your base has not moved, and you bring your image back over, and you give the same even, firm pressure. Lift up. Bam. It's beautiful. Now, I did not press real well in this top corner, so again, the beauty of the Stamparatus is you can go again and again and again to fill in where you missed a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a little more pressure up there, and now it's perfect. I mean, it was quite close to perfect before. And seeing as how I have my impression nicely, my mat nicely placed here, I'm just gonna bring in my sentiment, life is better with friends like you. I'm going to stamp it in Memento down in this bottom right corner. Boom. It is beautiful. I love it. I stamped it a little lower on this one, not intentionally. Sometimes it's hard to do things on camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, so then you would, if you want to do this on multiple cards, you would bring your chamois into your stamp. If you're done, you can take it off and mount it on a block and clean it like you normally would, but the chamois is an extremely handy tool, and I love that you can do that because now you could just put this away or, you know, put it away for the day or come back to it, and it would be clean and ready to go. So that is how I made this mat. The way I finished it off was I brought in some in-color rhinestones, in-color jewels, and placed them on, you know, surrounding this image, and then I put dimensionals behind it and put it on a basic white standard card base at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So here is our finished card again. I love it. Again, credit to Diana Miller for the design that I cased. What do you guys think? You know, this is easily replicatable with many, many different stamp sets, many, many different colors. You know, you don't have to use the in colors. You don't have to use this particular stamp set. It's a great technique. It makes a beautiful card. I will tell you, I did make this mat a little smaller than standard because I wanted a little bit more of this basic white showing out the edges. So I did that at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Just to give it a little bit more on the edge there. So what do you think of this beautiful card? I'm looking at it on my screen here and I like how it looks, but it looks just stunning in person. I wish I could send one to each and every one of you, but let me know how you, or what you think of it, if you love it as well. And please, if this inspired you in any way, shape, or form to make any type of card, share it in the comments. We would love to see your creation. We love to inspire you. And I hope you have a wonderful Technique Thursday, and I hope to see you later tonight. Tonight, I am again taking the wheel. I can kind of breathe a sigh of relief because I do have my first live under my belt. Last week we did mystery card making night, and you will see our mystery card on tonight's live, which is the paper pumpkin class. The May paper pumpkin is out and it is going to be a ball. So I hope to see you tonight at 6 p.m. Central, where we will be making our paper pumpkin. I'm so excited. Paper pumpkin is one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoyed this Technique Thursday, and I really hope to see you tonight. Have a great day.